Here is an introduction to the cloud-delivered Firewall Management Center. We bring you the features and the same look and feel as that of an FMC, just cloud-delivered through Cisco Defense Orchestrator. Cisco Defense Orchestrator is a multi-tenant SaaS management offering which supports managing different types of firewalls, monitoring hybrid worker deployments, and simplifying branch provisioning. Let's start with the access control policy page, and people who are familiar with the FMC can immediately spot that it has all the bells and whistles of an FMC appliance or a virtual FMC. Let's edit one of these policies. You will see the same options. We have always used the same code base across all form factors of FMC, and now that has been extended to the cloud-delivered Firewall Management Center. The 7.2 release added this new ACP UI layout, and you can see that it is available here. You can see the intrusion policies with the same options and the file and malware policies as well. Looking at some other top-level menu options such as devices and objects, which have the same workflow, we have the health monitoring dashboard for managed firewalls. As expected, some options that are specific to FMC configuration and administration have been removed, since this is a cloud-hosted and Cisco managed service. For example, there is no option to upgrade or back up the cloud-delivered FMC, as this will be managed and maintained by Cisco. The analysis and summary dashboard options have been expanded to support hybrid deployment options where customers might wish to manage the devices from the cloud-delivered FMC or store the logs in On-Prem FMC. It also promotes complete cloud adoption where customers might like to send and keep logs to a cloud-hosted solution. Both options are available for greenfield deployments and are presented to customers upon migration from on-prem FMC. Let's look at the migration workflow. We can trigger the migration workflow from the CDO homepage. The migration wizard offers an easy way to migrate the management of firewalls from an on-prem FMC to a cloud-delivered FMC. The migration will move the policies, object, licenses, and anything associated with the firewall. You can see detailed status and report information about the migration. It requires you to onboard the on-prem FMC in CDO, which can be quickly done in a few clicks using SecureX. SecureX integration is enabled on the on-prem FMC, and CDO can fetch the list of FMCs associated with that account. Now, assuming that you have an on-prem FMC onboarded, the wizard is going to present us with a list of available FMCs tied to that common SecureX or smart licensing account based on its status on the FMC. Before you start the migration, ensure that the FTD is configured correctly to be able to communicate with the cloud-delivered FMC. The migration wizard will pull a list of devices from the FMC and show them up for migration. The wizard allows selection of various logging options, whether to continue logging to the on-prem FMC in analytics-only mode, or delete the FTD completely from the on-prem FMC to prep it for cloud logging. After selecting the appropriate option, the migration is started. The migration status can be tracked with different stages and status messages. It migrates all the configurations without removing any config on the firewall and does the initial deployment to reflect the new manager. Once the migration is successful, you'll notice that the firewall is now available and added in the cloud-delivered FMC with its policies assigned as they were on the on-prem FMC. Customers who intend to use the Firepower migration tool to migrate from other ASAs or other firewall vendors now have an option to migrate to FTDs managed by the cloud-delivered FMC as well. You also have an option of committing or reverting this migration workflow in case you want to revert to an on-prem manager again. Customers who wish to store logs in the cloud using a pay-as-you-go consumption model can use security analytics and logging powered by the integration with Secure Cloud Analytics and SecureX. For cloud adoption, we've added a new FTD dashboard which shows the summary dashboards like the on-prem FMC. It has a threat and a network-focused dashboard as well, and it also reports the firewall's high-level health status along with any load information associated or any health alerts. With this option, the logs are available for viewing and download in the Unified Event Viewer in Cisco Defense Orchestrator, which can be used not just to view FTD logs, but also ASA logs and NetFlow telemetry data from firewalls. Depending on the tier of logging license, customers can get advanced analytics using Cisco Secure Cloud Analytics, formerly known as StealthWatch Cloud, and combine it with the telemetry info from their on-prem deployments. This adds behavioral analytics to the telemetry and event information shared here. You can discover things like rogue DNS servers in your network and trigger alerts for various other observations, such as if a new device is discovered in the network or if there is any unusual activity by hybrid workers. Customers who wish to retain the firewall logs on-prem or want to continue with the familiar FMC analytics experience can choose to either use their existing on-prem FMC or install a new FMC and use it in analytics-only mode for those firewalls. They will get the same dashboard look and feel in the on-prem FMC along with the event viewer, and the on-prem FMC will not be used for managing any policies on cloud-managed firewalls. The goodness of cloud-delivered features doesn't end here. We have provided the Dynamic Attributes connector in CDO as a cloud-hosted service which can be used to push dynamic updates to policies and objects in real time to both on-prem and cloud-delivered FMC deployments. And you have different kinds of connectors available here for consuming information from different public clouds and feeds such as Office 365 and GitHub. For identity-aware policies, FMC communicates with the AD and ICE servers for downloading the user information. With the FMC moving to the cloud for this offering, opening inbound connections from the Cisco cloud to on-prem AD deployments is not feasible. To solve that, we have enabled the FTDs to act as a proxy. The licensing model for threat features is what you are used to with the on-prem FMC. The cloud-delivered FMC communicates with the smart licensing account and keeps a tab on the license consumption, other than the things showcased. The cloud-delivered FMC simplifies branch deployments, onboarding, provisioning, and management. It supports two onboarding methods, registration key-based and serial number-based. The registration key-based onboarding requires the user to generate a key from the Cloud Management Console and then enter that key on the Firewall CLI as part of the onboarding workflow. As you can imagine, for a large remote branch deployment, it can be a bit challenging to generate keys and then distribute them to all locations. The serial number-based onboarding is a low-touch provisioning method, specifically designed for speeding up branch provisioning. It requires the management admin only to enter the serial number of the firewall. Once the new firewall is powered on and plugged into the remote branch, it will be automatically onboarded. This provides a low effort and easy to scale onboarding experience for recent branch locations. The firewalls can be added in bulk on the Cloud Management Console, and then as they connect, they will start showing up as connected in the Cloud Management Console. It does not require any configuration on the firewall at the branch location. As part of the onboarding workflow, you can assign a new management password, policies, and licenses. The firewall always initiates the encrypted management channel between the cloud-delivered FMC and the firewall. This removes the dependency on the IP address of the firewall. The firewall's IP can be changed without needing anything on the management console. The remote branches can be DHCP enabled and managed using the Cisco Secure Firewall's data interface or management interface. Also, it supports managing firewall high availability pairs using the management or the data interface options.